Sneakerheads and basketball enthusiasts alike, this is the Only Land, and we are back with a performance review for these. These are the Trae Young ones, if you did not know. And before we get into this, do me a favor, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you have liked what you've seen before. So as per usual, let's get into the traction. That's where I usually like to start off with. The traction on these is pretty damn good. I'm not gonna lie to you. I didn't really have any issues. The only time I had an issue was the first time I used it, and I made sure to ask around if it was just me, and it wasn't. It was definitely a core issue. Everyone was having it that night. I don't know what was going on, if it wasn't cleaned or if it was wet. I don't know what was going on, but there was no, I wasn't feeling anything at all. But besides that, for the most part, it was pretty good. I don't remember doing much wiping. I actually wrote down terrible court, no wiping. I wrote that down during this, so you should be able to get an idea of how well it was. Moving on, we'll get into cushioning. For the Trae Young ones, they have light strike in the midsole, and then in the heel they have boost, and you can actually see it says boost right there on the heel, and then you can actually see the puck there. And even if you go inside, I just had the insole out. If you look inside the insole, which you probably can't see, it shows like a little hole where there is a good sized puck of boost there. And I'm not gonna lie to you, I was very surprised with the cushioning when it came to these. I've worn Light Strike one time, and that was on the Adidas shoe ones. That's the only time I wore them. I have a bunch of Adidas shoes over here, and I have not worn them. And it was pretty good. Actually, it was a lot better than good. I'm not gonna lie to you. For a foam cushion, it was pretty damn good. I have had my best experiences when it comes to cushion with air. I'm not gonna lie to you. The Jordan, I believe it was the 28. I love that one. The KD 12, I love that one. All those are like shoes with air, but when it comes to like just foam, I've never had an experience where I really like enjoyed the cushioning, and it felt great. To me, it felt bouncy. I had no foot pain at all, which is for me weird because I just have weird feet. No foot pain at all when I played in these, and it was just overall a very great experience, to be honest, when it came to the cushioning involved in the Trae Young ones. Moving on to the lockdown and in turn the fit when it comes to these, I 100% say half size down, and that for the most part applies to most Adidas shoes from what I hear. And I only say this because I've only played in two, and I've seen plenty of reviews on Adidas shoes, and I've heard half a size down on most of them. For these, I initially, if you guys saw the first review, I don't know if I think I did. I had an 11.5. 11.5 is usually what I play ball in. And I ended up having to go a size down. I played the first time in them, and I was like, this is just too much. It's too much space in it. And I went a half a size down to an 11. And I actually forgot when I initially ordered them, so that was probably the issue there. But even the 11 was still, like in the forefoot, it still has quite a lot of space. And I would say that these are good for people with wide feet. The only thing is, it is kind of like a booty. So you will have to fight hard to get your foot into like this construction here, but once you get it in there, I think you'll be pretty good. But it was also kind of just get used to type of thing. So I did go down to 11. There was still a little bit of space in there, and I felt good, which was different for me, because if you watch the Paul George review that I had put on the channel just a couple days ago, I couldn't deal with that level of space. My foot was sliding, and it was just a little bit too much, and I didn't deal with that at all. The laces, it doesn't have laces that run all the way down to the forefoot. They only stay up in like the ankle area, and for me, it locked down pretty well. There wasn't any sliding. I had sliding one time, That was the last time, and that was, I think, an insole issue, which is weird to say, but this insole, and I did, hold on, is it gonna come all the way out? This insole is kind of slippery. I know that sounds weird, like, aren't insoles usually like that? No, they're not. If you go and you feel other insoles, you'll feel the difference. This insole just felt kind of slippery to me, and that last time it felt like, I don't know if the socks I was wearing or what I had going on where it was just too wet. And I've said it before, but I put 24 hours into the sneakers. So for it to just happen one time, I usually don't take that as something that's gonna happen every time. So I would just say it's an insole thing. That's what I'm gonna say when it comes to that. But besides that, the lockdown was great. Like I said, it is gonna be a kind of get used to it type of thing, and I try to compare it to like the first time I wore low tops. First time I wore low tops was a pair of Kobe 8s, and people were looking at me like I was crazy. This was back in the time where, oh, you don't wear low tops, you'll sprain your ankle, yada yada yada. People only wore high tops, and I love them. I got used to them, and I love them, and to me, they're still one of my favorite sneakers ever. So it's kind of just a get used to thing, and right now, this is, I'm not gonna say one of my favorite sneakers ever, but this is definitely one of my favorite sneakers for the year so far. Obviously the year's almost over, but that's what I would say. Last but not least, we'll get into like material and breathability. So-so. This is real cheap material. I don't know how quickly it's gonna wear down on you guys. I've already got like I've got it tearing a little bit here at the front of the right shoe, but besides that, there's not really much happening. You can see these like suede pieces, they're gonna get dirty. If you play with suede, it's just gonna get dirty. There's nothing you can do to avoid that. But it's not that bad. It's not tearing apart. Just, you're not gonna, because it is a booty type construction, you're not gonna get much breathability in this. It's just not. I feel like it's just not made for that. It's made for a Trae to get on the court for 2 hours, not play for 2 hours. What the max you can play like a game is like 40-something minutes or something like that. And that's it. It's not made for you to play for 3-4 hours like I usually put into them at a time. And it gets like that sometimes, but it really wasn't that bad. To be honest, it wasn't that bad. But that's it. And I know that was kind of fast, but there was nothing that was really bad about this shoe. Like I said, go half size down and you should be good. These are one of my favorite shoes for the year. This is high up for me. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'll put out a list at some point eventually, but this is gonna be high up there. Do me a favor, if you like what you've seen before, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. This is the only lane. I'm out of here. Y'all have a good one.